Reggie, you've been working with Lewis for about a year, is it? Thereabouts?
Actually, it's been about four
Oh,
months.
4 months. Yeah, I
Yeah,
seem to have been
four
in
months.
a time warp with that one. But yeah, so you seem to have achieved quite a lot in 4 months. So just tell me how and why you got in contact with Lewis.
Well, um, I've most of my life have been, um, how would you say, looking for answers. And, it's out here in California, we have a lot of opportunities.
Mm.
We look into this, we look into that. Um, I had kind of a rough childhood, so then I was looking for ways to feel better about myself, to be quite frank. And make a long story short, I was looking again at this person on the internet, and I found Lewis's name right there. And then I says, "Well, this is a different approach. Just Lewis just has his name and number there." I says, "I'll give him a call, and I'll see how far I can get with him, and see if we can make some type of a connection as to answer some of my questions that I haven't been able to have answered through other means." And so we started out, we had a good conversation, and I liked the way he was coming across. It was resonating with me. Um, I actually had a burning question is how to awaken. I want how to awaken a person. And that was my opening question with him when I had emailed him back. I would like more information on how to awaken.
Yeah.
And so we spoke after that, and that triggered, and that was our connection right there.
Yeah. So I mean, you were familiar with the terminology. I know you studied with Vernon Howard for a while. I mean, go back a little bit. When did the questions start to form? When did you think, something's not right? I need something extra. When did that sort of happen?
Well, way back, way back.
Yeah.
Actually, I was. I'm from a large family, siblings, seven siblings, and then I was in the middle. And then so you know how that goes. Maybe you don't, but it's kind
Yeah.
of the environment. I always felt out of place, and I was always getting pounded down. How you say, emotionally, verbally, uh, physically getting pounded. So I just says, boy, there's got to be a better way. So through that, luckily I didn't go the other means like a lot of people do. A lot of my close family members my age took other means to medicate themselves and to try to find comfort in other means. Whether it be drugs or alcohol or marijuana. And for some reason, I never did that. I just wanted to, I would take the pain, but it says, how do I get rid of this pain?
Yeah.
So, and then so I got into, believe it or not, and then my dad died when I was young. I was like 15, and that was a big hit for me, really hurt me bad. And so then I was left with my mom, and then, so she wasn't the nicest person, but I got through that, and I always was able to move along life, just go forward. Even though I was kind of wounded, I would still move forward, and I go, man, there's got to be a better way. And then I looked into things like Scientology, and then I said, no, that's not it. Different things. You read the book here, read a book there,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
So, what kind of work are you doing with Lewis? What is the main content of the work that you're doing with him?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because what we're doing is really refreshing to me. This is completely new, and I wasn't even gonna think that I could get any place with it. His approach, but we're discussing philosophy. Actually, a author in by the name of Spinoza, and we've been learning things through Spinoza's teachings, and it's presented some new tools for me to work with. and that is to say, for example, new concepts like we don't have free will, you
Yeah.
know, and how to the laws of nature, the laws of knowledge, the levels of knowledge, hearsay, experience, and all those principles I'm learning through him. And actually, I'm applying them in my everyday life, in my work,
Yeah.
and my marriage, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's emotional work in the main, isn't it? Do you find resistance in yourself to do that kind of thing? Are there places that you don't want to go to?
Well, actually, and I guess there is a little bit of resistance there, but actually, to me, it's refreshing that there is a tool
Yeah.
to use that that's all I was looking for is somehow to get my way out of this cycle of patterns, resentment, the normal thing of way of dealing with problems is to get angry and
Yeah.
judge the other person.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, in my case, I have experienced, resistance
Yeah,
at various times because it's gone very deep, and
yes.
I didn't necessarily want to go there. I mean, in terms of difficulties, you're saying that in a way you don't have a lot of difficulties with the emotional work, but are you finding difficulties of any kind in this work? Where's the resistance? Because there's always resistance somewhere.
Well, I would say that I don't know if I should use the word resistance, but I will say that what tends to be a barrier, if you will, is that sometimes the way we're made up is the old Reggie wants to do things the old way.
Yeah.
And that old programming, if you will, if that's the right term to use, that sometimes I'm not conscious. Let's say I'm not conscious of that at that moment. And so I'll do things the old way and I'll get myself back in trouble again. But
Yeah.
if I could be conscious of my thoughts and observe, and I say I can just laugh at that stupid behavior, then I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
And and the main thing is like when you're talking about the emotions, is like I would have never thought there was emotions were really the culprit. Because sometimes we're taught to think, well, it's good to express yourself
Yeah.
and it's good to get mad and let it out and this sort of thing. And then, but it's never worked for me. It's always gotten me in more trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. I know about that. So the people around you, do they notice any difference?
I would say yes, definitely. Um, my Actually, in every phase of my life, really, um, I have to be honest. These the understanding has a, how would you say, it's on its own.
Yeah.
After I understand certain principles, I don't know how things happen sometimes, but they happen and it's working for me. Um, I don't know. For example, when I learn a certain principle, say I'm talking to you or Lewis, and I go, "Oh yeah, I didn't see that before," and it resonates deep. I understand it. Well, then I can carry that with me. It's like another level. I don't repeat something that would sabotage me in the past. I won't do that anymore.
Yeah.
For example, dealing with my workers, I'll talk to them in a manner, and in a nice manner that's respectful and clear to the point, and they like that. And then likewise with my customers, homeowners, I can express myself real nice because I'm not, say, emotionally caught up because I got mad 3 hours earlier. And
Yeah.
so I have that nice mannerism with them, and they love it. And
Yeah,
you
that's a
know.
lot. That's a lot of progress in the space of 4 months, isn't it? I mean, presumably you didn't expect to find something that would affect you so much in such a short space of time.
Well, you're so right, Martin. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it. But this morning I was laying in bed real early, and then I was thinking, you know how we do manual project. Let's say you're gonna do some plumbing work, let's say. So you have a pipe wrench to take those components apart, right? So you might need a pipe wrench, maybe two pipe wrenches. But that tool is only good for that
Mm.
task. And so you can't use a pipe wrench to take a tire off your car, for example. It won't work that well. Or to do a tune up to your car or something of that nature. But they all have the right tools, and that's what I'm finding. I have tools now
Yeah.
to look at my emotions. Uh, Lewis has me factualizing. That's a term he uses when you actually, it's like journaling. You write things down and you say, what actually happened here? And I do that. Not a lot, but I do it and it works.
Yeah. 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 It does work. I mean, in terms of the direction of your work with Lewis, where do you see it going? Because the work on the emotions is a kind of freeing thing, isn't it? Well, it was for me anyway. And I mean, where do you think the whole thing's going to go? Have you got any notions?
Yes, I really do. And then from the get go, I told him what I was trying to, on my own in the past, before I met him, I was trying to go in a direction is to be closer to the source, closer to God, where I
Yeah.
think where his knowledge is my knowledge, and his understanding is. Always wanted to be at that level, but I never knew how to get there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I think you're very, very fortunate to have met Lewis because I was involved with a lot of things, and some of them I can say were probably pretty much a total waste of time. The most progress I've made has been while I've been with Lewis, which is about 3 years now. And
interesting.
yeah, and the thing about Lewis that I really liked was, he just came over as an ordinary guy. There was no pretension that he didn't wear a saffron robe or some special headgear or anything like that.
Right.
He wasn't
Yeah.
burning joss sticks in the background. So yeah, that's one of the things that
Yeah.
attracted me to him.
Yeah, I met him. Actually, I met him. I'm not too far from him. I'm about 40 minutes from where he lives, and I met him in person. The first visit, I wanted to see this guy in person to just, my instinct was saying, let me get a feel for him, what he looks like, and just for that reason. I mean, just like what you were saying, wonder if he wears a robe and he's got the incense going, and I just wanted to look at him and look him over, so to speak, and
Yeah,
get a feel for him.
yeah,
And it was very positive.
yeah. I'd like to meet him, but I'm on the other side of the world, so it's going to be difficult. But the Skype thing works very well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in terms of the interview, Reggie, that's been very, very useful. I think a lot of people will find that interesting. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin, and I would look forward to speaking to you in the future.